While cell phones at school continue to give teachers headaches and often distract pupils, one teacher is reaching out to pupils in a way they understand. She's bringing cell phones and even social networking sites into the classroom to help her do her job.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, ma'am. Please take out your books and take out your phones.
Not quite what you'd expect to hear a teacher say in class. But this grade 11 mathematics class at Sekolo Saboroko High School is embracing the use of technology and social networking sites, making the gibberish of high school algebra a little easier to understand.
I've started a separate Twitter account for my class, for this class, and I often post homework and tips and sometimes links to websites that I find useful.
Clark believes using cell phones is an easy way to access information and online tools that can back up classroom lessons.
When I do allow my kids to use their cell phones, it's in a very directed manner, and I ask them to access a particular website. Usually it's the Siavula textbooks, and I do walk around to make sure that that's where they are.
Pupils say the website is continuously updated, an improvement from sometimes outdated textbooks.
It actually is an advantage because sometimes the textbook doesn't really explain well, and the textbook on the phone, on the other hand, explains really well, and you're able to understand things better.
If there's anything I missed out in class, I can go to Twitter and tweet me, and then she will send it back to me and explain how it really works.
The use of technology has extended beyond the classroom, and pupils have started study groups on chat services. Clark may not be able to use cell phones for much longer, though, as school governing bodies want them banned because they're believed to be a distraction and expose children to unsavory content. Tamida Miller, eNEWS, Johannesburg.
An interesting debate. I'm sure that parents have very diverse views on this particular issue. Well, you saw in the report, our school teacher Robin Clark is with us now on Newsnight. Welcome, Robin. You're suggesting then that cell phones are not the enemy. Why?
Well, I don't think they're the enemy because they are very useful in the class, and I think that most of the governing body and the government curriculums actually would like the use of technology, so they shouldn't be banning cell phones because it's like a mini computer in your pocket.
Just outline for us how exactly you're using them in the learning process.
I use it in a very directed way. I don't let my kids do whatever they want to on their phones. They are directed to a website, usually the Siavula website, which is a free maths textbook online in a very low data format, and they can read notes, do exercises. The other thing that they do is they can access homework on Twitter or Facebook and use BBM or mixed study groups.
In theory, it's a great idea, but how do you know they're actually there? I mean, you have to be very vigilant, don't you?
Well, I'm not a teacher who sits at the front of the classroom and sits back and let them get on with their work. I walk around and I check that they're doing what they're meant to do.
How did the idea come to you?
Well, I use the phone all the time, and if I ever needed to look up information, I would use my phone in class, and I don't think it's fair that if I have such quick access to information that my kids shouldn't also have that privilege.
Well, in many ways, it's becoming a spurious debate. I remember when I was at school, it was a long time ago, but it was the calculator debate. Is that people saying, well, you know, you can't use calculators. These days, they go. Anyone can use them in school. Surely it's the same debate, but just 20 or 30 or 40 years later.
Well, I think if calculators were banned all that time ago, we wouldn't have got to where we are now. So I think the same can follow for cell phones.
Is it too early, I wonder, to determine the success of your methods?
As far as I can see in my class, I've only got anecdotal evidence, so I haven't done a study to see whether their marks have improved. But
what's your sense, though? I mean, you must have a sense.
Oh yeah, so many of my learners have said that it really has helped them. It's helped them to be in contact with me, with the rest of their class, and I think it's made maths fun for them.
And parents, from what I understand, are saying to you that you're the devil with a keypad in her hand. They don't like this.
Well, no parents have actually said that to me yet.
Well, I'm paraphrasing, but I mean, it's not too popular. I mean, there is some opposition to it.
Well, I think that parents would be wary because kids do get up to bad things as well as good things on their phones. I mean, obviously, Mixit has been seen as a huge culprit, but I think it's the same with a computer. You can use it for good things or for bad things, and you have to direct it.
Well, what does the school itself say about this? Are they fully behind you?
Well, I have a great headmaster who really does support me in my use of technology in my class. So there are a couple of older teachers who are slightly skeptical, but I think if they see that it works, they'll regard it as a success.
They would be skeptical surely about that line between it being a very useful tool of education and also a nuisance and a distraction. And I guess it all depends on the way in which the process is managed by the teacher in the classroom.
Absolutely. I don't think you can just say take out your phones and do whatever you want. You have to direct the use of phones. Just as if you let kids into a computer room, you have to give them a task to do. And
I suppose we can't escape the fact that technology is now the future of the classroom, and that probably in 5 years' time people would look back on this discussion that we're having and laugh at us.
I think so. I really don't think that you can expect kids to get out of school without having ever experienced technology, so introduce it as early as you can.
Appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Good luck to you, school teacher Robin Clark, with us here on Newsnight.